Sixthly, the stance is the attitude the author takes towards the subject and the audience. The stance of the PSA is urgent, using words like critical, immediate action required, and stage 4. This aggressive language aims to shock the audience into compliance. It also portrays empathy. They might say, "We understand the frustration," but this attempts to acknowledge the audience's pain point before telling them what to do. The message is also instructive. The language is very direct and command-based. Switch off, unplug, reduce. The government/ESCOM positions itself as the necessary authority guiding citizens through a crisis. The essay twist. The stance might be received with cynicism. Many South Africans feel the crisis is due to governmental failures, so a PSA that adopts a "we are all in this together" stance can ring hollow to an audience that feels unfairly burdened. Seventhly, we look at culture, which we understand as shared values and beliefs. In the South African context, the campaign must navigate deep-seated cultural realities. For example, in a culture of communalism or Ubuntu, the PSA will try to frame energy saving as an act of community care. Saving power helps your neighbor keep their lights on. This taps into the value of Ubuntu, humanity towards others, to encourage sacrifice. The rhetorical goal here would be to shift the focus from individual inconvenience to collective benefit connections, or creating a perception that the crisis is purely a rich person's problem. Eighthly, let us consider the language used. In South Africa, language choice is a rhetorical act in itself. The PSA is likely delivered in English, as it is the most common language of business, media, and government, ensuring the broadest possible reach across different language groups. Style and tone. The language is usually standard, formal, and direct. Example, it is incumbent upon every citizen to exercise power prudence. Analysis. The formal style reinforces the authority of the source, making the warning feel serious and official rather than a casual request. However, this style can sometimes feel inaccessible or cold to certain groups. Translation/localization. If the message is translated into Zulu, Xhosa, or Afrikaans, a good rhetorical analyst would check if the tone and urgency were maintained or subtly changed to better resonate with specific community idioms. Finally, what are the expectations for the communication? The audience might expect practical solutions. The audience is not just expecting a demand to switch off, they are expecting information and assistance, such as what stage 4 would mean for their area. When will the power return? The PSAs must balance the instruction with clear schedules or resources to fulfill the audience's practical need for information. Otherwise, the message is ignored. Another expectation would be accountability. The audience expects the source, ESCOM, or government to take accountability for the crisis. The PSA typically avoids dwelling on past failures. Instead, it uses a future-focused rhetoric such as, "If we work together, we can prevent a higher stage," to deflect from past problems and focus entirely on the present action required from the citizen. You would conclude that the Every Watt Counts campaign is trying to motivate immediate behavioral change or purpose among an audience of high-consuming urban South Africans. Now it is time for you to practice doing a rhetorical analysis. Choose a short text, such as a newspaper article, a blog post, or a message on your favorite social media site. Then do a rhetorical analysis on that text. Write it in an essay form. Apply the above criteria to the text. Introduce the source, then for each of the body paragraphs, use the headings we just used in the above analysis, and then end with a conclusion about your analysis. Now let us explore critical engagement in more detail. The purpose of critical analysis is to think deeply and then to communicate effectively based on that deep thinking. Once we've inquired and critically verified a text, we need to be able to read, discuss, and respond effectively across diverse communication environments. This involves adapting our tone, format, and language to suit the specific rhetorical and cultural contexts, including the highly informal and often controversial environments encountered on social media. We need to be able to draft a formal response to an academic essay that summarizes the argument. When engaging with scholarly work, the response must match the accuracy and formality of the source text. You must summarize the argument accurately and fairly. Here is an example of summarizing an argument in a social media context. Context. This scenario involves a text message exchange between colleagues, students, or researchers who are reviewing a recently published academic article in the field of psychology. The article is trying to establish a definite cause and effect relationship between two variables: use of social media and experiencing anxiety. The article argues that the study measured social media usage hours and measures of anxiety. Then they established a correlation to the two. They found that as social media usage increased, so did anxiety, and so they claimed that social media directly causes anxiety. Let us discuss how we should respond to social media posts, which is different to responding to academic content. Responding effectively in a high-speed, emotional environment like social media is completely different to responding to academic content. A social media post should be clear, concise, and respectful. Social media is a major part of everyday life, and many people use multiple platforms. Hence, it is important to have a good understanding and be wise about our social media usage. Next, we consider what it means to be social media savvy. Everything you post creates a digital footprint, which can reflect positively or negatively on you. A digital footprint is the places, platforms, and applications where a trail has been left that links to you. Light-hearted or harmless posts can be fine, but emotional or angry posts can lead to cyberbullying and damage your reputation. Digital footprints are long-lasting and may resurface later, potentially affecting future opportunities such as university admission or employment. Social media showcases your skills, character, and values to others. This can be intentional or not. Because of its power and permanence, social media should be used responsibly and thoughtfully. Considering the rhetorical situation, your audience, purpose, stance, context, and cultural awareness can help you make wiser posting decisions. Trevor Noah is a strong South African example of being social media savvy. He uses his platforms to share thoughtful commentary, promote his work, and engage with global audiences in a balanced and humorous way. His posts are intentional and rarely reactionary, showing that he understands how to protect his digital footprint while still being authentic and influential online. Naledi Malela is another South African influencer known for her responsible and intentional social media presence. She focuses on beauty, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship, consistently producing content that aligns with her brand. Her posts are well-planned, professional, and respectful, making her a good example of someone who understands the long-term impact of a digital footprint. Penny Sparrow is an example of how harmful and careless social media use can damage a person's reputation and lead to real-world consequences. Her racist Facebook post in 2016 caused national outrage, resulted in legal penalties, and permanently affected her public standing. This demonstrates how a single insensitive or offensive post can create a long-lasting negative digital footprint. Duduzile Zuma Sambudla illustrates how social media can be used recklessly. She has faced serious legal consequences after prosecutors accused her of using Twitter/X posts to encourage violence during the July 2021 unrest. Her situation shows how impulsive or inflammatory online behavior can have long-lasting social and legal repercussions. In the times we live, information is continually communicated across diverse digital and print platforms. This has changed the very definition of a text. It's no longer just the words on a page. The word text now includes images, videos, and memes. To critically evaluate a text means engaging with and understanding the entire communication structure, going beyond just the verbal content. This includes how the text is organized and presented, the platform it's on, the design, and the interplay between verbal, visual, and multimodal elements. The meaning of any communication, therefore, isn't based only on the message's content, but also on the manner in which it's delivered. To really figure out if a text works, We have to look at everything together, like how all the little parts change what it means, how people feel about it, and whether it actually gets the job done. Think of a text like a car. To know if it's good, you can't just check the tires. You need a systematic checkup of the whole thing. You figure out if all the pieces work together to make sense, change minds, and actually perform well. We will evaluate various textual features next.